From the screen to the ring, to the pen to the king. Where's my crown? That's my bling. There's always drama when I ring.
Well, it's about my life.
KSI is in a tough spot. The internet's ultimate boss, who everyone thought was unbreakable, is now seriously falling apart. He's dealing with mold issues, music troubles, FDA scrutiny, a bomb threat, and FBI attention. The pressure is immense, and there's concern he might be struggling with dark thoughts as everything around him spirals out of control. This isn't just some random run-of-the-mill drama. No, KSI hates his life, and he actually might be considering unaliving himself based on this old video.
Have you ever been in a situation that, you know, when things are not going your way, you just think that maybe you want to commit suicide?
Yes, Mom. Yeah, several times. I've contemplated suicide several times.
Yeah, you heard that right. KSI has officially hit rock bottom. From the crumbling launch of Lunchly with Logan Paul and Mr. Beast, to his disastrous music drop that TikTok has literally memed into the grave, everything has spiraled out of control. The internet has ripped him apart piece by piece, but nobody knew it would get this bad. Okay, let's get into the thick of it. Just in case you have been living under a rock and clueless to what the heck is even going on, let's rewind by starting with this train wreck called Lunchly. Because this, right here, is where it all began. Now when you hear Lunchly, what do you think? A fancy new way to eat lunch, right? Wrong. Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI all joined forces to create what they claimed would be the ultimate lunchbox for kids. Yeah, imagine Lunchables but on steroids. It was supposed to be healthy, trendy, and revolutionary the way we think about lunchtime, except it didn't.
The entire product is ultra processed and nutritionally crap. That's really the only way to put it. I mean, just look at these ingredients. You can barely pronounce any of them. That is what your kids are eating. I mean, 90% of those ingredients should be axed immediately, and parents should take one look at this label and refuse to buy it.
The product launched, and the reaction was brutal. The internet exploded with reviews. People were calling Lunchly the worst ripoff in history, just a glorified, overpriced Lunchables wannabe. And oh, the mold. That's right, mold, people, in the packs.
No, chat, there's actually mold. That's 100% mold. Oh no, do you see it right there?
Wait, that's fucking vile, dude.
Sealed and it's molded.
How do you even screw that up? Mold in the food we're supposed to feed kids? Insanity. But the mold wasn't even the biggest issue. Behind the scenes, it gets darker. Not only is the food gross, but someone from London hit them with a bomb threat at one of their plants. Literal chaos. Production halted, PR on fire. Oh, and then the FDA got involved. Turns out their fake health claims weren't just internet drama. This snack is a ticking time bomb of lawsuits.
I did not expect this. You can cover the mold with the pepperoni. So here is the pizza Lunchly, and now we're gonna put together the pizza Lunchable. I'm gonna wash my hands, just in case. Oh my gosh, this is wild.
Rosanna dunked on Lunchly, but forget Rosanna for a second. This whole thing's turning into a legal dumpster fire. Parents freaking out, the FDA kicking down doors, and it just keeps getting worse. It seems that what we thought was just bad marketing could be genuinely dangerous. Sure, Rosanna Pansino's takedown didn't help Lunchly in any way, but the real heat is coming from Uncle Sam. The FDA has been slammed with over 10 complaints about Lunchly, and one alarming report claims someone actually got sick after eating it. The agency is diving into these accusations and warns that a public health alert could be on the horizon if the risks check out. An FDA rep threw down the gauntlet, stressing that every food company must follow strict safety rules, and if Lunchly flunked, they're in for a serious reckoning. With the mold drama, the song flop, FDA heat, bomb threats, and the FBI poking around, it's gotta be overwhelming for KSI. Sure, he's got a rep for being a jerk, but you almost feel a bit sorry for him. Almost. His comeback to Rosanna didn't really help his case.
Okay, this was like years ago. This is one of the reasons why I followed her. I actually had like a low-key crush on her.
Really?
Yeah.
Which do you can just
Not anymore, but
Wait, really?
yeah, back in the
That's so
day.
endearing.
And it wasn't just Rosanna on his neck. Social media went off. People started posting pictures of their nasty, half-rotten Lunchly packs, tagging Mr. Beast, Logan, and KSI like, yo, you seriously sold us this garbage? And the hashtags, hashtag Lunchly scam, hashtag Moldly. The internet was ablaze. Now, as if the Lunchley meltdown wasn't bad enough, KSI had decided to drop a horrible mess of a new song right in the middle of the chaos. That was actually a huge mistake. The song was supposed to be a banger, something to boost his image after the Lunchley disaster. But what happened? TikTok absolutely buried it. People were posting clips of the song and roasting it to the high heavens. It was being compared to Rebecca Black's Friday, and not in a nostalgic way. TikTok users were merciless, with some saying it was the cringiest song they'd ever heard. Others said it sounded like a Prime commercial disguised as music. And oh, did we mention that KSI was shoving his energy drink Prime into every scene of the music video? Literally, the whole thing felt like one long Prime ad. People were like, are we listening to music or just being force-fed your overpriced energy drink, KSI? Then the memes started rolling in. The most savage of them all, the pause meme. Users would film themselves watching the music video, and when the song started, they'd dramatically pause the video, pretend to faint, then revive themselves just to pause the song again. The disrespect was unreal.
Oh, I've seen plenty of these. Yep. Brilliant, sick. Yep. I think I've even seen one where they're like, oh, that moment when you die, but then hear KSI's song playing and then revive yourself just to pause it. Like, no, motherfucker, you're dead. You can't revive, bro. Also, this is a stupid scenario. If you're dead, you're dead.
KSI fired back on Twitter, saying it's hypocritical for people to come at him for promoting Prime when other artists do the same thing. And honestly, he's not wrong, but the internet wasn't done. Some fans were straight up saying, KSI, this is the worst thing you've ever done. They were claiming his music career should just end. And now, the darkest part. With all this backlash swirling around him, from the Lunchley disaster to his music being torn to shreds, KSI finally broke. He took to his YouTube channel, eyes heavy with exhaustion, voice cracking, to try and understand the hate behind his song.
The label thought it would be a good idea, especially because more of you decided to post more TikToks using the song. And even though I told you guys to stop, you guys are just on a hating rampage.
It was like watching a ship sink in slow motion. KSI is done. All the internet drama, all the hate, it got to him. He straight up admitted that he's been struggling to deal with everything, but it didn't stop there. In a fit of frustration, he confronted the avalanche of hate surrounding his latest track. And when I say hate, I mean pure, unfiltered negativity pouring in from every direction. Imagine dropping something you've worked your heart out on, and instead of praise or even constructive criticism, you get an endless wave of trolling, mockery, and downright venom. KSI took to Twitter and just flat out begged for peace when he got ratioed by a hate comment under his own music video. No dramatic speech, no clever clapback, just these raw, desperate words. Generational haters everywhere. I'm so tired of it at this point. Leave me alone. Let that sink in. The man who built an entire empire on YouTube, who's been undefeated in the boxing ring, who has his face plastered on Prime bottles everywhere you turn, is breaking. And the pressure, it's not just online trolls, it's coming from all sides. But pause for a second. We need to ask the real questions here. Is KSI getting the hate he deserves? Or is this just the internet doing what it does best, tearing people down for sport? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this insane situation. We're only halfway through the madness. Now, you'd probably expect KSI's family to rally around him during all of this chaos, right? You'd think they'd be his rock, holding him up while everything else crumbles. Well, it's not exactly that simple. KSI opened up about unaliving himself. His parents know exactly how much he's struggling, how the weight of the internet, the constant pressure, the endless cycle of backlash and hate has been crushing him.
Just jumping off bridges.
Why?
Or
Why?
just running in front of cars.
But why?
Oh, because sometimes it just gets too tough.
His parents, understandably, are pleading with him not to give in to those dark, overwhelming thoughts. They've seen the toll it's taking on him, and like any loving family, they're desperate to stop him from slipping further into the abyss. But KSI, he's so deep in his own despair that their words barely register. This happened a few years back, when KSI was already neck deep in the pressures of fame, and now here we are again. Now imagine this. KSI sitting at the kitchen table, his parents across from him trying to hold it together. His mom, voice trembling, saying, JJ, please, don't do this to yourself. No shouting, no dramatic fight, just pure suffocating fear in the room. But KSI, eyes deadened from all the pressure, just says, screw it all, I'm ending it. Some people will feel sorry for him, while others just won't care. The trolls will come out in full force, making jokes about his mental state. You'd think people would have some decency, but nope, the hate's gonna keep pouring in. As KSI's absolute train wreck of a song keeps making headlines for all the worst reasons, his closest friends and collaborators, the Sidemen, have been scrambling to step in and save him from completely unraveling. And trust me, they were shook. You can see it in their faces. They had no idea things had spiraled this far out of control. They dropped a video and you could tell they genuinely believed KSI's anger and frustration over the backlash was more than just another overreaction. It was serious. In that video, they were practically begging him to step back, to take a much needed break and focus on himself before it's too late. Now, let's not forget, even Logan Paul and Mike Majlak were taking stabs at KSI's latest train wreck during an episode of their Impulsive podcast. And let's be real here, if Logan Paul, the king of controversy himself, can't get behind your latest jam, you know you've plunged into a spiral of epic proportions. It's one thing for critics to take pot shots, but when even your fellow provocateurs are shaking their heads, you know you're in deep trouble.
There's always drama when I call in. You, bro.
Lazyverse is one out of many YouTubers going in on this KSI fiasco. He says KSI's song got this Disney-like vibe that doesn't really match what KSI usually does. It's like KSI's trying something new to get his fame back on track. Lazyverse also thinks KSI and Jake Paul are just pretending to have beef for publicity. Behind the scenes, they're probably supporting each other's projects and just creating drama for the fans.
KSI and Jake Paul have been beefing with each other for a while now. And when I say beefing, I mean that they've been sucking each other out for a while. Every time KSI drops a new product or every time Jake Paul does something that he needs marketing, you know who's always there? KSI and Jake Paul holding each other's hands, always making these hate tweets, when in reality it's just some free promo for each other. Like, they know what they're doing, and I'm pretty sure in their DMs they're probably like, hey KSI babe, I love that new song. When do I get to eat your ass?
He also pokes fun at KSI's efforts to make the song's promotion look natural and spontaneous, calling out KSI's acting skills and the obviously staged events. When the song got mixed reviews, Lazyverse wasn't impressed with how KSI handled the criticism. Lazyverse also mentions other YouTubers like DanTDM, who seem to be getting some extra attention thanks to all the drama around KSI's release. Overall, it seems like KSI is trying to milk the whole situation for all it's worth, but according to Lazyverse, it's not really working out. Instead of boosting his fame, these tactics are leaving him feeling more self-critical. And when you're used to being successful and suddenly face a wave of criticism, it can hit hard. The whole Lunchly mess and the song flop probably have him second-guessing his choices.
Prime, it keeps you awake all day.
What do you think? Is internet culture toxic beyond repair? Or is this just part of the fame game? Should KSI just quit while he's ahead? Or should he fight through it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's have an honest discussion. No judgment, just good old chaos. And while you're here, you have to check out my latest video about the Sidemen totally abandoning KSI. It's a wild ride and you don't want to miss it. And hey, if you're enjoying the ride and want to stay updated on all the latest drama and chaos, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe.